Episode 8 of The Ultimatum. Our couples are spending their last few days together before we get to see them make their decisions, I believe, on April 13th. So we've still got 4 couples. I think we had breakups today, and we'll have to see. I'm very interested to see what everybody's decisions are going to be next week. So let's start with Rae and Zay. So we ended last time with Zay getting home at 8 a.m. after, walking out on Rae, totally ignoring her all night. And then we somehow end up in a situation where Rae is apologizing to Zay. Zay, physically preventing her from leaving. Apparently, Rae hit him. I still, even in that scenario, I don't think that she should be apologizing to him, period. Like, he was 100% in the wrong. He was the one who was starting to make things physical, and Rae shouldn't have hit him, but in no way should Rae be apologizing to him for that. And Zay just saying, trust me, doesn't fix what you did. That's not okay. Like, oh, yeah, if I just ghosted my wife for 24 hours and came back and was just like, what, you don't trust me? That does not fix the situation. That is absolutely absurd and just shows, how far from being ready for a serious relationship Zay actually is. Going out and getting drunk every time you have an issue is not a good quality to have. That's not something I want my partner to be doing. Every time we have some sort of conflict or something negative happen in our life, I don't want my wife just running off for the night and getting hammered and ditching me. That's not a good way to deal with something. He was so pushy in the confrontation with Rae last episode, and so mad at Rae for not reciprocating the confrontation. But then it's fine for him to just totally walk away and leave her in the dark. Like, no, like, that is extremely hypocritical, and was very happy to hear when Rae said she was done. Zay said she still loves Rae, but honestly, this man doesn't even respect anything Rae says, and we've seen that repeatedly throughout the season. No respect for the words that come out of her mouth, and very happy to see Rae walk away. Shanique meeting up with Zay, that was a head scratcher for me, and like, initially Shanique seemed happy to see Zay until he starts dumping about what happened with Rae, and he went off on his little tangent, his little tirade, and Shanique called Zay 100% out, and I very much enjoyed it. He was not in the right, and Shanique wasn't taking his BS for 1 minute. And he needed to be put in his place. That wasn't Ray's personality, but I'm glad Shanique could come in and call out Zay for his BS. Rae also went and met up with Jake, and it seemed like Jake was quite happy to hear that Rae was single. I don't know what his decision was going to be, because it kind of seemed like he was mending things with April, but now that has to be in limbo. Speaking of April and Jake, we might as well just jump straight over to there. We had the little sit down with Jake's parents, and anybody else notice that April and Jake's mom both seemed like they were just talking over Jake the whole time? Like, he was just sitting there looking so uncomfortable while Jake's mom and April just sort of, they weren't being mean to him by any stretch, but did kind of gang up on him. That's obviously not what Jake wants. That's not what he wants in his partner. That's not what he wants from his mom either. And to me, just another reason why maybe Jake should move on from that relationship. We also found out April is not pregnant, and the way she delivered the information really made me feel like April felt like their relationship was done. She said, "Well, you should be happy about this," and I didn't like that. It was something that sounded like was an issue for them, not being able to get pregnant, and for her to kind of throw that back on Jake at the last moment before they split before their decision just doesn't seem right to me. Next up, Shanique and Randall. Randall doesn't seem comfortable around Shanique. Like, I really feel that, and I don't know if anybody else was picking up on that vibe, but when they were having their final meal, their final date together, the Last Supper, Randall just looked uncomfortable to me. And maybe I misread that situation, but it didn't look like a man who was having a meal with somebody that he's fully trusting of and comfortable with. Shanique mentioned that she saw Randall kissing Madeline as a green light to do whatever she wanted with Zay. That was a little shocking to hear. And if I was in Randall's shoes, I'd be questioning things a little bit, because it wasn't that Shanique was exploring things with Zay and had connected with Zay. It was that Shanique saw that Randall was making a connection, so she decided that she should just get physical with Zay. Randall was very adamant that he's going to do what's best for him, and the way he phrased it maybe sound like he's planning on walking away single. And I almost got the vibe that Shanique also got that impression, and maybe was considering doing a preemptive strike and saying no before Randall even had the opportunity. Lastly, Madeline and Colby. These two, like, even just within this episode, what a roller coaster. Madeline, the start of the episode, she's just like totally on board with Colby. She says that she's ready to marry Colby, and it's like everything that's happened has just been completely erased. And then they end up having their final dinner, and Colby still has the audacity to say that he hooked up with someone to make the experience real for Madeline. That he went to someone's hotel room at 4 a.m. for Madeline. And Madeline says to him that she can't be with someone who can't admit that they're wrong, and then shortly after walks away. It kind of seemed like they broke up, but we saw the preview for the finale, and they're both still there. We even saw Colby getting down on one knee to propose in that finale. So they're broke up, but not really broke up. And we'll have to see what happens with them in the finale. So before we leave, let's make quick predictions for our final 3 couples. Let's make this short and sweet. Everybody gonna break up. All breakups across the board. I think that there is a chance for Rae and Jake to walk away together, but after seeing the last few episodes, probably I don't even know if I'm fully leaning towards that. Yeah, I'm gonna say to all breakups. Madeline rejecting that proposal from Colby. No scene between Madeline and Randall, and that's going to be our how things end. A bunch of people walking away single. Why? because this show wasn't about love. This show was about the breakups. All right, everybody, that's going to wrap things up for me this week. Looking forward to seeing how the final 2 episodes play out next week. And as always, thank you so much for watching. And until next time, we'll see you later.